Screws are tight. Gonna put a little bit of grease on our gears here. Just get a little bit going on the actual gear part. Just kind of work that in. Like so. Just a light coat. Just gonna work that through. Don't need to go crazy with it, but just want to make sure you got enough to cover all the gears and parts and pieces. If you get too much, you can wipe it back off. Not a big deal. So, all right, there's that. Alrighty, let's see, what should we put together next? Let's get into, we need the reel still over here. Alright, gonna start putting other parts of the reel back on. So, just, this only fits one way in there, so just a matter of getting that line up so that's nice and flat and even. So we'll put that off to the side just a hair. I got our washers and stuff here, so I'm gonna put a quick light coat of grease to cover. Just a thin coat of grease, so slide that down. Alrighty. And we have our gear. We'll apply some grease on that. That worked around. We'll just get it kind of started. If we need to add a little more, we can add some more. Just putting a light coat on it to start with. So. All right. There's that. That just slides right on there, like so. And I'll put just a real thin coat on that one. Alright, there's that. That just goes right back in there like so. And there's that. We'll get some more parts and pieces over here. We'll get just a light coat on this gear where they mesh together. We need to add a little, we can do that. I'll put just a light coat right here. Okay. slides in there. And this will just go back down on your pins. And just like so. Just lines up with the gears basically. We'll just kind of turn that and work some of that grease in there. That might sound kind of noisy right now, but that's alright. Once we get it all back together, we'll be alright. So, I'll just get a little touch more grease in here. It's just making that noise just because it's not like completely in line with everything right now. So until we put that side cover back on. So, alright. Now we have our 2 small springs here. I'll put a little bit of grease on there. Alright, well, there's all the gears and stuff like that I'll put back in and cleaned and lubed. So we'll take a little quick break and we'll get some other pieces ready to go together. Alright, we got some more parts and pieces to go back together. So we got, this is one of the bearings. That'll be on the side. Just putting a little oil in there, work it in and in. Alright, and we got this bearing cleaned out and kind of flushed it out. Not that there's really anything in it, but if there's any dirt, dust, or anything like that, it's cleaned out. Got that. This is all cleaned out. If you do want to take that out, it's in there pretty good, just to let you know. So make sure you have, I don't know, maybe a socket or something that fits in there just perfect, that'll push it out. But most of the time I'll just clean it up and with the Q-tip, sorry, and I'll just kind of get that cleaned out, because I know why, because I broke one time. So just to let you know, so you don't really have to take it out if you don't want to take that risk. I will put a little bit of oil on this. Where those rollers will turn on. Thin coat on there. And that will go down there. That just has to go in there one way. Alright, so we're pretty much ready to put the side cover back on. Just a matter of lining it all up. Like I said, this front one here is a longer screw of the 3. Sorry, I don't have very good lighting down here. I'm kind of in the basement, so hopefully the video be usable. Or at least you guys can maybe see a little bit of what I'm doing. Screw didn't want to go in straight there. Get that lined back up right here. There we go. Oop. Fell out. All right, there we go. Now we're threading in straight. Snug all these back down. Alright, there's that side of the reel. We'll get that bearing on there here shortly when we get ready to put the other parts like the star drag and all the washers and good stuff like that. So we'll get the spool in there real quick too. I usually put just a real light coat of oil on there. I mean, just real thin coat. Don't need much. Okay, there's that. Spool ready to go in. Just like so. And side plate ready to go on. Oh, yeah, let me put one little quick dab of grease right here. Alright, that's enough. There we go. That started. Get our handy penny back out for snugging this screw down. Alright, that's snug. I think I already put a little oil in this, but double check it. Yep. I'm pretty sure I put some in there already. But that's alright. Alright, there's that bearing. Get our little parts and pieces now. There's that small washer that real thin one. So I'll put a little grease on that just to kind of helps it kind of stay together. Sometimes it makes it a little easy. Keeps it easy from just coming out simply. Alrighty. What do we need now? Sorry, should have got my parts and pieces a little closer to me. I did put a real thin coat of grease on the threads there just to make it a little easier sliding together. Alright. I'll put a light coat of grease on this spring. Just a matter of getting that in there. Alright. And this drag star will go on here next. So I'm going to do grab the handle and the knobs and get some oil in them and get ready to put the rest of it back together. So I'll just kind of show you that as after I lubricate the bearings and the handle knobs. So we'll be back. Alright, well, we got our handle and knobs and got our bearings and stuff here, so we'll get a little oil in them. That worked in. Alrighty. Like I said, I got everything already all cleaned up and ready to go, so matter of putting it together. Get the bearings down in there. Like so. Sorry, I got my little table full of stuff. There's that. Yeah. I kind of forgot to mention, sometimes I'll just put a dab of oil on their shaft there too, just to help it slide a little bit. Don't hurt. I already oiled the bearing, so I think we'll probably be alright, but I usually put a light coat of oil on that, on the shaft of that, so. Alright, that's tight. Stick the plugs back in there. Nothing to it really. Alright, there's our handle. Put a little grease on that washer to help it kind of stick to that handle. So there's that. Alright, ready to put the drag star back on. And we got our pieces all back in there. Just a matter of getting it lined up like so. The handle back on there. Probably could have tightened this nut down just a little more than I did. Oops. Wrong order. Just a matter of getting it just right. Like so. Just gotta hold a little pressure on there. Just to keep it from popping loose. Alright, there's that. 10mm. I'll just kind of turn that as we go. Alright. There we go. Alright. Feeling pretty good. Matter of putting the cover back on, or that little plate back on there. Sometimes you'll have to loosen this nut up just to get it lined up just right, but you'll be alright eventually. Alright. I could probably add a little more grease in there, but other than that, Tatula SV all cleaned up and ready to roll. Sounds good. Probably need to adjust that a little bit yet. Should be ready to roll. Feeling good. So, all right. Well, about the only other thing that I usually do is once I get it all together, I'll just wipe down any leftover grease and stuff from your hands and handling all the grease and putting it all together. And a lot of times I'll go back over it and I'll use a little detailing towel and some detailing spray or some something along those lines just to get it all cleaned up. Sometimes I use some of the ceramic spray. I think Turtle Wax makes it. And I'll put a quick little coat on there and wipe it all down, and the reel will be ready to go. So, hope you guys like this video, and hopefully it helped you if you needed to take your Tatula SV apart and that's pretty much all I got for you. So if you got time, I'd wouldn't mind if you like and subscribe. That'd be sweet. Talk to you later.